selling carbon credits, also known as going up in flames, forced government subsidy. They siphoned $9 billion. It's pretty bad. Total hustle. Welcome back, guys. Hope this finds you well. So sometimes it appears that we're living in a bizarre time. The whole concept of carbon neutrality has become a side hustle in itself. And Mr. Elon Musk, a master at making money, has, of course, taken advantage of this lucrative opportunity. So as part of the Inflation Reduction Act, very ironically named, because it just added to inflation, one of the provisions in there is a method to sell carbon credits if you're a manufacturer to those that are failing to manufacture enough green products. In the case of Tesla, of course, this has to do with cars. So because they only make EVs that are more green, they're able to accumulate all these credits that they can turn around and sell to another manufacturer who is not making enough carbon neutral products. Honestly, you would think the stuff would not make that much money. But Tesla, for last year, their new filings show that they made $1.79 billion just from selling these credits. They're called IRA manufacturing credits. IRA, of course, standing in for Inflation Reduction Act. And all of this with the Inflation Reduction Act became effective starting January the 1st of 2023. So not only does Tesla sell these manufacturing credits to other manufacturers, but also consumers were able to receive up to $7,500 of tax credit. That's fine and dandy, maybe, but other manufacturers buying these tax credits from Tesla, well, it effectively means that it's not just the government subsidizing the production and manufacturing of EVs, but it also forces other manufacturers who are not investing enough in electric vehicle production, well, it forces them to essentially subsidize by buying these credits from someone like Tesla. Of course, it is a forced subsidy of Tesla. Now, love or hate the man, Elon knows how to make money. He also knows how to take advantage of other people to get the government to subsidize his empire. On top of that, with the Inflation Reduction Act, with the cherry on the cake being that other manufacturers hand him billions and billions of dollars. So in truth, the other manufacturers are not making less carbon neutrality, they're just subsidizing electric vehicles, which of course, those expenses get handed back to the consumers. So in the end, it's almost like a double insult to the consumer. Because as fun as it is to drive an electric vehicle around, putz around town, the reality is that they can't exist without subsidy, forced subsidy, i.e. the consumer has no choice, which is pretty. And it's not just the United States. These carbon credits are also available for sale in Europe. So over the last decade, Tesla has been able to make up to $9 billion just from selling these carbon credits. Selling carbon credits, aka they siphoned up to $9 billion from other manufacturers. The perfect side hustle. So the global firm BDO had a nice write-up on some of the key facts relating to the history of some of these green carbon credits. So they write that actually the beginning of all these credits actually doesn't start with El Presidente Joe. It actually started all back in the day in 2009, all with Presidente Obama, where apparently part of the birth of some of these carbon credits was enacted in the America Recovery and Reinvestment Act back in 2009. But the Inflation Reduction Act expanded not only the funding, but also the manufacturing, and essentially all that would qualify under the umbrella of being able to sell these carbon credits. Total hustle. Hustle, of course, because the amount of money involved is in the billions and billions. For example, back in 2013, these carbon credits that Tesla was selling only amounted to roughly $190 million. So the selling of these carbon credits is so lucrative for Tesla. Just in the past 4 years, they've received more than $6 billion. And of course, this comes at a time when the whole EV bubble, well, it's going up in flames. Maybe electric vehicles make more sense in small, tiny countries, but in the United States, it's just a different story. Everything is so spread out. So traditional manufacturers like Ford, who are supposedly losing up to $47,000 per EV, that's what they reported for the last 3 months of 2023. It's pretty nuts. So are they handing over tons and tons of cash to Elon? Well, And nowadays, a bunch of dealerships don't want any EVs on their lots. It's pretty bad. But poor man Elon's probably going to be okay. Tesla still reported revenues of $96.8 billion for the end of last year, despite the stock price, well, coming down in half. But a lot of people don't know that Elon is actually a military contractor, mostly with SpaceX, but he gets billions and billions and billions of dollars from the US military industrial complex. Government subsidy, that's the way to get government subsidy, that's the way to get rich. Unless, of course, you're just insider trading, like Congress. He's a funny man. He's a funny, interesting man. So we'll see if internal combustion engines actually get banned. I don't think so. There's no way. Because if the market can't support itself without government subsidy, forced government subsidy, how in the world is this going to be feasible for everyone? Well, anyways, we'll see what happens with the Space Karen, because he just loves getting everyone to subsidize everything he's doing. It's not just the government, because of course, him getting government money, in the end, it's all taxpayer money, one way or another. All right, guys, well, just a quick video, trying to get on the good side of the algorithm. As always, good to spend time with you, and please don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.